Okay, good morning. All right. Um, so we're here to talk about Trump, Panama Canal, and Elon Musk and Vivek's turning on MAGA, which is pretty much something we knew was going to happen. And let's get into it. I'll Talk Radio, live in 4K.
Has anyone ever heard of the Panama Canal? Huh? Because we're being ripped off at the Panama Canal like we're being ripped off everywhere else. The fees being charged by Panama are ridiculous, highly unfair, especially knowing the extraordinary generosity that has been bestowed to Panama. If the principles, both moral and legal, of this magnanimous gesture of giving are not followed, then we will demand that the Panama Canal be returned to the United States of America.
That's what he thinks he could do. He thinks that could go that way. He thinks that you could just snatch it back from the Panamanian people, Panamanian government. Okay. But let's go a little deeper and find out why things are the way they are between Trump and Panama. Let's get into that.
Really going on with the Panama Canal. After a series of Truth Social posts by Donald Trump where he demanded that Panama drop their rates for passage through the canal or return the Panama Canal to the United States, now he has doubled down on this at a conservative conference in Arizona today. Take a look.
The fees being charged by Panama are ridiculous, highly unfair, especially knowing the extraordinary generosity that has been bestowed to Panama, I say very foolishly, by the United States. This complete ripoff of our country will immediately stop, and we will never, ever let it fall into the wrong hands, but it's falling into the wrong hands. We will demand that the Panama Canal be returned to the United States of America.
I mean, the U.S. did give control of the Panama Canal over to Panama in 1977 with a series of treaties, so Trump's argument makes sense, but only on the surface. Trump doesn't expect you to look deeper into what's going on. When he says we will never let it fall into the wrong hands, he's referring to China. So let's take a look at what's going on here. The Panama Canal is a vital global shipping route that is facing unprecedented challenges, mainly due to climate change. It has been facing a severe drought, which has lowered the water levels at Gaddon Lake, the crucial source of water for the canal's operations. So to conserve water, the Panama Canal Authority that runs the canal has had to restrict the number of ships traveling through daily, as well as limit the size of the ships traveling through, because larger ships require more water. So this has prohibited some ships from passing and caused a disruption in the supply chain. It has forced some ships to take the costly route of traveling all the way around South America to get over to the U.S. West Coast. These detours have caused increased shipping costs, and the restrictions placed on the canal have forced the fees to increase. This has also affected the timely transport of food and agricultural products that can lead to shortages and price increases. So how is China involved? The United States is the canal's biggest customer, with China coming in as the second biggest customer. China has been buying up land in Panama, and they now control 2 of the 5 adjacent ports to the canal on each side. China has been working to exert influence over the canal for years now, most of which happened under Trump's first term. Big surprise, right? That's the story Trump won't tell you.
And, Trump loves dictators. How did that happen on his watch? How did that happen on his watch? Let's see what else is going on. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. All right, hold on 1 minute. Okay, fix that. Okay. 1 minute. All right, sorry about that. One second. Okay, we got it. Sorry about that. Here we are. Okay.
The region south of the border. Congressman, great to see you. Thank you for being here. Brian and I were just talking about the years that China has spent greasing the palms of Panamanian officials, and they've got somewhere for that. Now they do control a large part of it. That is their end game, is essentially, maybe not in name, but behind the scenes, essentially taking over the Panama Canal, is it not?
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. And it's the Panama Canal not only is it strategically important for commerce, but it's vitally important for the security of our nation. So much so, look, in World War II, the Japanese built this huge submarine that they could put bombers on it so they could take the Panama Canal out. It's going to take us 2 to 3 weeks more. We have to go around South America. So it's of huge strategic importance, and China is got its hands on it right now.
They used to talk about building a second canal south of there in Nicaragua.
Remember, this happened on Trump's watch.
But why go to the expense and effort to build a second one when you can, for a few $1 million, bribe enough officials in Panama to take over the existing canal?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look.
Bribe? So much for the Republican Party being about morals and responsibility and etiquette and ethics.
Look, any canal built in Nicaragua is going to take a long time to build, and so now you have already infrastructure there that's done, paid for by the United States of America, and then now you're going to take advantage of it. And your previous guest was absolutely right. We have reports that the Chinese have always been trying to buy influence, not only in Panama but around Latin America and around the world. They buy influencers, they bribe, co-opt politicians to do their bidding all around the world, and Panama is no exception.
Now, not only did we build a canal, but as Brian and I were talking about, I mean, it was U.S. territory. John McCain was able to run for president.
Thing is, like, it was given to the people of Panama. That's the thing. All right. People are starting to realize, over the world, that if you shake hands, if you ask help from the American government, don't expect that to be something of helping them out of the kindness of their own heart. Expect to fight if they want to one day put the boot on your neck. That is something that has to be put in people's minds overseas. Okay. Now we're going to be talking about the clash that Elon Musk, Vivek have with the MAGA mafia.
Finds itself at the center of a raging political debate that could dramatically impact its workforce. It is pitting some of the biggest names in tech who happen to be supporters of Donald Trump against the president-elect's base. ABC 7 News South Bay reporter Lauren Martinez with a look at the clash over work visas.
An online debate between big tech and politics continues into the weekend. At the center of the issue, the H-1B visa program. It's a gateway for skilled workers from around the world who specialize in areas that include mathematics, technology, engineering, and science. 65,000 visas are issued each year, with an additional 20,000 given to those who have master's degrees or higher. Ahmed Banafa is an engineering professor at San Jose State.
This thing about having this limit of 65,000, I mean, we could miss someone.
Trump's new AI advisor has advocated for the U.S. to remove country-specific caps on H-1B visas. Tech industry leaders and Trump advisors Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk both made long posts on X on how their businesses rely on H-1B workers. Ramaswamy pointed to the American culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad. MAGA supporter Laura Loomer tweeted the H-1B program takes away jobs from American STEM students. In a post, Musk said, "There is a dire shortage of extremely talented and motivated engineers in America."
Look at Musk himself. He is one of the products of the H-1B visa. I mean, we don't have Elon Musk.
Is he wrong about American culture? What has American culture been about? Vanity, superficialness, over or things of substance. Okay. Take, for instance, social media, right? Social media is now something that is looked upon as a job occupation instead of getting a degree or a trade skill. That's basically what it is. Being a talking head is the dream of many people, many young people, being a talking head instead of getting a skill that can help you survive. All right. People are pushing their kids to be YouTubers more than pushing their kids to be in a book. Okay. Or to learn a trade. Or to learn a skill, even as young as possibly 8 or 9 years old. Of course, they can't be using a jackhammer, but they could be, groomed and trained in a way, helping their dad fix a car, handing them tools and stuff like that. You can get mad at Vivek, get mad at Elon Musk, but you praised billionaires who put money over people. okay, that come from a culture where you have to really bust your butt to be somebody in life. And of course, it doesn't mean it in, by any means necessary. Elon Musk's father took over an emerald mine and enslaved black people to have the wealth that Elon has today. Elon's father did that. Vivek Ramaswamy has always been a scammer. Okay. And that's how he made his millions. But they do realize that you have to have, pick things of value instead of vainness, superficial stuff. Picking the prom queen, picking the jock over the over the person who may be a nerd. Well, I mean, I would say that's kind of some incel stuff to say, but because you have to, water has to seek its own level. Okay. But I get what he's saying. And in America, you must be picked for, but how do I say this? Outer appearance means more than, if you're skilled, can you build a house for this woman? Can you take care of this woman? Can you be a father to this one? Can you be a leader? All right. In other countries, they want to know that. What do you do for a living? Does it pay well? All right. Can you fight to protect your family physically and whatever resources you have? Doesn't care how much you could bench and stuff like that. Can you handle pressure? These are things that are lost in American culture. Okay. Vanity takes first priority. Do you have life skills takes a back seat. This is why you have so many marriages falling apart. Okay. And this is deep right here. I mean, yes, Vivek insulted his base. So did Elon, but they're billionaires again, and they know some things about value and things that, make their bottom line profitable in the tech industry, and that is immigrants. Let's go further into it. Laura Loomer wants to talk about, you're taking away jobs from Americans. Which ones? The whites first or non-whites? Okay. We all know what MAGA is really about. White first. When they say America first, it's white first. You blacks on board with this, you're going to learn the hard way. You are going to learn the hard way, as well as you, Latinos who want to be for Trump.
Vivek Ramaswamy, the man tapped by Donald Trump to lead the new Department of Government Efficiency, along with Elon Musk, is using 90s sitcoms as an analogy for why tech companies are hiring immigrant workers. In this very long post on X, Ramaswamy said, American culture celebrates mediocrity over excellence. Here are his words. A culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World, or Zach and Slater over Screech and Saved by the Bell, or Stefan over Steve Urkel in Family Matters will not produce the best engineers.
Hey, is he wrong? Is he wrong? What does our culture bring? Even when it comes to gender roles, you ever see how it is? The Cosby Show. All right, Cliff Huxtable. He may be a doctor, but he's kind of like a buffoon in sometimes, and his wife is the brains. Okay. You have it in other TV sitcoms as well. Everybody loves Raymond. What is Raymond portrayed to be? A buffoon. What is his wife? The leader. Okay. And feminists love that crap. Black women who are feminists who grew up in battered homes or homes where there's dysfunction, they love that crap. Okay, they don't like. And who do they put sometimes as the brain sometimes? And how do they make him look like he's a pig? He's immoral. Okay, you have married with children. They make it as dysfunctional. All right, a family struggling to survive, and the man's the head. They make it like it's a toxic thing with a toxic background. And also they show that, do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying right here? He's not wrong.
Vivek Ramaswamy is trying to make the point that American culture has really prioritized the high school jock over the nerds, which is why, in his mind, he believes these tech companies are really leaning into this H-1B visa program to bring in foreign-born talent to the U.S. in some of those top jobs like engineering, like tech, for example. We saw Elon Musk back up his Doge co-leader by saying that America has a shortage problem when it comes to these more high experience, high tech jobs. And that's why they're saying there is some merit to this program. Now, Vivek Ramaswamy has been a big opponent of this program in the past, saying that there needs to be a reform that needs to be based on meritocracy, not a lottery program. But this still did ruffle the feathers of Trump's most supportive base, that the MAGA base here. And we saw people like Laura Loomer, who traveled with the president on his private plane during the September 11th anniversary events this year, come out on Twitter and say that she disagreed with the two tech billionaires, pretty much saying that they're out of touch, and this message surely isn't one of American first. From there, we've seen it devolve into this conversation about whether or not some of the critics to Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy have been punished, their Twitter status been revoked because of that. But though at the heart of this, though, Reed, again, is
Yeah, because it's their platform. You see how they have power? You see how they have power? Because in reality, they understand sports, entertainment, that doesn't help drive an economy. It's great for money to put butts in the seat to people to watch shows, but at the same time, it's not what's driving the economy. Technology is. Okay? They understand that. And unfortunately, many people don't. He says Americans are stupid and lazy. Okay, let's ask a question. Does it make sense to pay a person flipping burgers 20 an hour? A lot of people will say it's okay. They should be paid 20 an hour. Really? Unless you work at a 5-star restaurant, I don't think so. Being honest. Okay. And this is what the Democrat side, or, this is what you have people on, who work in those industries think so. Working at Burger King, you should be getting paid 20 an hour. Unless you work at a 5-star restaurant, you shouldn't. Okay. You should be working on getting a skill. That's just reality. That is life. Okay. And Vivek and Elon, they understand it. And many foreigners understand that. Many immigrant parents understand that. America has become soft. And they're not going to want to have soft people working in their companies, costing them their bottom line.
Expand the H-1B visa, a major civil war that has just erupted within the MAGA base. One side of the MAGA base is saying, look, we need to expand the H-1B visa program and bring in Indian entrepreneurs. This is being represented by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy and others. They're basically saying, don't bring in other migrants, but we need to bring in immigrants where it helps tech. We're big.
Very interesting, since you got Nigerians into tech as well, just bringing Indians. Yep, Vivek is a snake because he was on that all lives matter stuff, and we're all American, and
we're big tech, and we gave you all this money, Donald Trump. On the other side of the MAGA base, with people like Laura Loomer and other kind of right-wing MAGAs, they're saying, Donald, your whole thing was get rid of immigrants. We don't want Indians from India coming into the United States of America. We want to keep America white. Isn't that what you told us, Donald Trump? Why are you bringing in all of these foreigners? This
again, because it's about money. It's not about race. I love it. I love how this is how MAGA is falling apart. These Trump supporters are, these racist Trump supporters are finally seeing the truth. Okay? They're finally seeing the truth in their eyes. And the thing is, like, the sad thing is like, a lot of them don't want to let go of that image that they have in their minds of Trump. Okay? A lot of them don't want to let go. It's sad. It's sick and it's sad. Okay? These are billionaires. They only care about, their productivity. They care about their business flowing. They care about money. That's what they care about. They care about money. Okay? That's what they want. They want nothing else. They could care less about your freedoms. They could care less about what you want. They care about the product, money, business, and billionaires. They don't care about you. And they've made that known. They have said things to make it known, but people didn't want to listen. Okay? And as I said in the last video, white people forget white people used to colonize white people. And it was about power. It wasn't about you're white, I'm white, we sticking this together. No. Same thing goes for black folk, goes for white folk. Skin folk ain't all skin folk ain't kin folk. All right? That's what it's about.
Thing erupted when Donald Trump announced the appointment of Sriram Krishnan to be his senior White House policy advisor on issues of artificial intelligence. Sriram is a venture capitalist who works for Andreessen Horowitz, a big kind of venture capital private equity firm with people who had given lots of money to Donald Trump. And he's part of the whole kind of tech bro movement of Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, and others. He previously worked at Twitter when all of MAGA was saying Twitter was the worst thing ever. He also worked at Microsoft, Yahoo, Facebook, Snap. He's around my age. He's like 40 years old, 41 years old or so. And as soon as that was announced, MAGA got pissed. You had people like Laura Loomer putting out statements that were, on its face, racist and xenophobic about India. We'll go through.
Yeah, they said a lot of nasty things about Indians owning 7-Elevens, how they smell. They said a lot of nasty things. And these are the people that said, make America great again. And you asked them, when was America great for everyone? They crickets. They can't give you an answer. They make excuses. This is the party, okay, that wants to go back to segregation. People want to lie. They want to go back to segregation. They want to go back to calling you the N-word without any consequences. They want the right to hang you if they could. All right? That's what they want. And you Black MAGA supporters need to wake the hell up. You need to wake up. Okay? Because that's what they want.
Through some of that, a little bit of a trigger warning. Some of the statements are really, really kind of heinous. So I just want to kind of let you know that in advance, but it's important that we report on the news right here. But here's what Laura Loomer just posted. She goes, "The elephant in the room is that Elon Musk, who is not MAGA and has never been, is a total effing drag on the Trump transition at Real Donald Trump. He's a stage 5 clinger who overstayed his welcome at Mar-a-Lago."
Stage 5 clinger? What were you doing? Always wanted to hang around Donald Trump and he had to distance himself from you. All right, just saying, pot calling the kettle black.
In an effort to become Trump's side piece and be the point man for all of his accomplices in big tech to slither in to Mar-a-Lago. She also said, "Why would you bring in Indian invaders to work in tech in the United States?" She said something to the effect of, "They shit in the same water." She then goes on to say, "Don't worry, guys, the divorce is coming."
Wow. This is why I can see why people advise Trump to get rid of Laura Loomer. Look what she's doing. Okay. Isn't she a resemblance of what? Who was that other woman? Omarosa. Yeah, Omarosa. When Trump in his first term, Omarosa was doing too much. Look what she's doing. This is the white version of Omarosa. Look. Wow, man. But this is why I am so much for free speech. I'm so much for let these people who are racist talk. Let them talk. All right? Because you got to know who your enemy is. And you can't know who your enemy is if they keep their mouths shut.
What she's referring to there is this civil war between her faction of MAGA and the tech bro faction of MAGA, who was not there with Donald Trump, but gave him so much money during the election, and they feel entitled to the MAGA movement right now. So we're seeing these forces collide, and it is getting very messy, folks. So here's what Elon Musk responded to as well. One of the people on his social media platform, X, formerly Twitter, wrote, "There are over 330 million people in America. Surely there must be enough among them to build your ultimate team. Why would you deny real Americans that opportunity by bringing foreigners here?" And these are MAGA people saying, wasn't your whole movement about anti-foreigners? Like anti-everybody other than Americans? Didn't you say you were going to educate Americans and make all of these jobs, all of these high-paying jobs, American jobs, not foreign jobs?
These are politicians. They lie to you. They'll say whatever. They don't give a damn about MAGA. Okay. And most of these MAGA people, they would be happy if an Indian was teaching them how to do the job and then they get the high promotion, but the Indian's left in the dirt. That's what they want. That's what they want. You wanted to pick somebody that you didn't care if you suffered. You knew minorities were going to suffer too. Well, get used to the suffering. You're trying to cling on to anything. They're trying to cling on to, please let my white skin give me an advantage over these non-whites, please. That's what it is. This is what they're screaming for. We voted for you because we wanted to be known better than non-white people. We're poor as dirt, okay? Some of us have to wait in line at night just to get a health checkup because we can't afford health insurance, but we want to know we are better than non-whites. Please help us, Mr. Master Trump, Mr. Master Musk, please help us. That's what it is. Please let America be racist again. This is the evil that is in the minds of these people, Trump supporters.
Elon Musk responds, "Your understanding of the situation is upside down and backwards. Of course, my companies and I would prefer to hire Americans, and we do, as that is much easier than going through the incredibly painful and slow work visa process. However," and he puts however in caps, "there is a dire shortage of extremely talented and motivated engineers in America. This
People that we could pay crap money. We could pay them lunch money to work for us. We don't have to pay top dollar as we would Americans. That's what it is. Everybody's going to be on a plantation. Everyone. You're going to notice, like, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it.
is not about handing out opportunities from some magical hat. You don't get it. This is blindingly obvious when looking at NBA teams, as the physical differences are so obvious to see. However, mental differences between humans are far bigger than physical differences, exclamation point, to which some of the MAGAs responded, well, then open up schools. We have brains. Americans have brains. Elon Musk goes, if you need a school, you've already lost. To which another MAGA responds, incredible. At this rate, you are actually going to make me side with the leftists who want to treat you like a hostile foreign agent. Laura Loomer then chimes in and goes, is Doge real, or is this just some vanity project? Can we have a conversation about this without people crying? To which Elon Musk responds, there is a permanent shortage of excellent engineering talent. It is the fundamental limiting factor in Silicon Valley. So what Elon Musk is saying is that migrants are needed for him. So when you see Elon Musk talk about America, just replace the word I with America. He's talking about what's beneficial for himself, because where there's also massive labor shortage is in areas like agriculture, hospitality, construction, where migrants are keeping our economy afloat.
Which Trump wants to break it in half with these stupid tariffs that he wants to put on Canada, and he wants to put on China, and he wants to put on Mexico. All right. This is what he wants to do. Canada, most of this construction material comes from Canada. You want to hit Mexico too? We have stuff coming from them as well. Okay. This, and no one was thinking. They thought the fact that they wouldn't be affected, that they would give Americans jobs, they would give us jobs, but you're not willing to work the crap pay. You guys don't even want to work the fields, to pick the fruit there, to pick the vegetables, to milk the cows. You guys don't even want to grin and bear it in that hot sun. You don't want to do that. A farmer tried to hire Americans to work in the field to pick the vegetables and stuff and the turnips, and they couldn't do it. America is soft. And billionaires took advantage of that.
And where President Biden wanted to have a bipartisan immigration bill that would be very tough on the border, but would also recognize that our immigration system needs to be fixed so that our labor needs are met with a very strong border. But for Elon Musk, it just has to be immigrants who he believes is helpful to him.
Now, I want to say with the fact that when it comes to schooling, right? He says if you need a school, you've already lost. Um, I think when he says that, he means the fact if you don't have the drive, if you have to have someone spoon feed you the knowledge, or you can't just pick up a book and just learn it. I think that's what he means. I think that's what he means. Because there are some people who just pick up a book on coding and they're self-taught, and they're able to build websites, build a portfolio, and they get a job. All right. That's the thing. That's why he wants immigrants. Because they're not distracted with social media. They're hungry. They're trying to work to eat, literally eat. They don't probably live with mom and dad. They don't really have friends to take care of them. Okay? They're literally on a mission to survive. That's why they beat the Americans in almost everything, because they're on a mission to survive. They're not really worrying about Cardi B or Meg the Stallion. All right, or Sexy Red. They're trying to survive. They're trying to eat. They come from war-torn countries and they want a better life. But the fact of the matter, Western powers have has a stranglehold on their leaders in their country, and they want to get out and have a better life. This is why you have Africans going to Poland, you go into Europe, and they want to live there because they don't see any freedom in the country they're in, because Western European powers are destroying their country. Okay. I remember I watched a video on Facebook about a white professor says we have to keep Africa poor in order for us to be rich. White professor said that. That is why you have them coming over here and excelling, because most of parts of the African countries they come from, they may not have the opportunity, because Western powers are making sure that their leaders are weak and will do their bidding.
Elon Musk also goes, if it comes down to this, do you want America to win or do you want America to lose? If you force the world's best talent to play for the other side, America will lose. End of story.
Don't know what else is there to say. Don't know what else is there to say. And white people are losing their minds because how dare you talk this way to us? How dare you? You know, we thought we were on the same side. You have the same color skin as us. You know, come on, you hate black people just like we hate black people. You know, let me tell you something. If that black person can make Elon Musk money, if that black person is good at tech, Elon is going to take that person on. Okay? There's nothing that you will say to Elon to make him change his mind. No, that person is black. How could you pick him? He doesn't care about that. Is that person giving me a profit? Okay? That is the point. Is that person giving me profit? Many of you don't get that. You don't. Because you're so blinded by the fact that America's pride in stomping people out who don't look like them, pride in destroying nations, and then want to wave the flag of America as it's something to be proud of. Okay, America is a great country. Don't get me wrong, but you have to understand what what their military do in other countries for the sake for lies of we need to give these people freedom, and that's what they go to. That's their go-to. When a country stands up to America, America goes to propaganda. This country needs freedom. Okay, in other words, this country doesn't know this place. Okay, we're white, we're right. Okay, that's what it's about. Especially when it came to, I believe the country was Gambia or one of those African countries that uh, they said they were not going to have the same-sex lifestyle in their country. And you know what Biden did? He put sanctions on them. Okay? That's what Biden did. Because a country chose to live their lifestyle over America. Biden decides he has the right to punish you. Let's keep going. More talking about the Civil War.
From this country, be very clear. There's nothing wrong with people who are not from this country coming here, making a better life, contributing to the American fabric. Okay, that's something I fundamentally believe in. America is the land of the free, home of the brave, all that good stuff that Elon Musk was tweeting about. However, please don't come for Americans. And I would like, let's be very clear, I would like white Americans to stand up. This is your calling card, honey. Where's your banner? Because they coming for you. They said y'all white and lazy. That's crazy.
Well, what I find is...
It's not crazy. It's not. Because they feel that if I am white, I should get the best jobs. No matter if I'm mediocre, I should get the best jobs. No matter if a non-white has better resume history, a better work history, okay, has taken on more responsibility in his work history, I should get it because I'm white. Talk about DEI. Talk about DEI. You don't want the merit, want to be recognized for your merit. You want to be recognized for the color of your skin. Okay, that's what it is. That is what it is when it comes to this DEI nonsense. Okay, look at Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth, Matt Gaetz. Both of them are sexual perverts. Okay. Matt Gaetz, known as an alcoholic on the job. Okay. Also has a grape allegation against him. His own mother came against him and said he has a terrible relations with women. Okay. All right. But they think that they're qualified to be in government leading positions. Matt Gaetz for the, not Matt Gaetz, Pete Hegseth for the Department of Defense. Okay. And you want Matt Gaetz, who's been known to be showing people pornographic material within Congress. Also, sleeping with a 17-year-old girl. But they should be picked because they're white. This is the hypocrisy of MAGA and the Republican Party.
I said it. Y'all would be coming for me. Well, I'll never say that because that's insane.
That's the point.
And the laziness. And Elon Musk he's right. He is right.
What you have happening here is the very thing that white folks have said about black people.
I'm sorry. I just want to know, Vivek was born in the U.S.
For generations.
Exactly. They say we're lazy, we're entitled, because we want to be treated as human beings and actually known for our worth, or we bust our butt on the job. They, on the other hand, will be lazy, entitled, and want to be recognized for being white, and they should get the job. That's what it is. That is what it is. But if you ask them in person, no, it's not like that. No, it's not like that. It is like that. That's why the PWTs, poor, low-income whites, are freaking out because they're going to lose their benefits. Because they want to be known as, hey, we're special because we're white. Same thing in the tech bro industry. We're special because we're white. People are just falling in line, though. They don't care. They do not care at all. But here's something very interesting, though. Since they show you something very, very special here. All right. See, these people here, leopards, they let leopards eat their face, okay? This is how powerful Elon Musk is right now. He meets with Nigel Farage, okay? He is a neo-Nazi supporter. Elon Musk has neo-Nazi heritage. All right. Elon Musk met with Nigel Farage at Mar-a-Lago. You met at Trump's place. Trump just bent over backwards for this man. The British politician shared an image on social media that showed him at Donald Trump's Florida resort with the tech billionaire. As preparations for the president-elect Donald J. Trump's return to the White House continued at Mar-a-Lago, his Florida resort, several political leaders from other countries have made pilgrimage there to share tactics and learn from his victory. Oh boy. On Tuesday, Nigel Farage, the British politician who is an ally of Mr. Trump and the leader of the Anti-Immigration Reform UK party, became the latest to do so, sharing an image on social media that showed him at the resort with tech billionaire Elon Musk. That fueled speculation that Mr. Musk was intent on building up British populist insurgent political force, which is emerging as a threat to Labour government and the leading opposition party, the Conservatives. Mr. Farage posted the photograph of Mr. Musk's social media platform on X with the message, British needs reform, to which Mr. Musk replied, absolutely. Okay. Those of you who don't know, the Islamic illegal migration is becoming a problem, okay, in Britain. And neo-Nazis have been filling the power vacuum as a voice of reason, okay? And they're gaining steam. Mr. Nigel Farage, okay, there was an article about him 5 years ago, 2019, talking about how he would say to gas the you-know-what. Gas the you-know-what. I'll just say that again. And he is a childhood friend talked about him. And this is who he is. All right. Neo-Nazi supporter. Also pictured standing in front of the portrait of a youthful Mr. Trump alongside Mr. Musk was Nick Candy, a former donor to the Conservative Party, who was announced last week as Reform's new treasurer and is tasked with helping raise funds for their party. Mr. Farage has been a long-standing supporter of Mr. Trump, sharing admiration for the president-elect with Mr. Musk, who has been named to help lead a new Department of Government Efficiency. In posts on X, the social media company of which he owns a majority share, Mr. Musk has been highly critical of British government led by Keir Starmer of the Labour Party and has suggested that Reform could win the next British election, which is not expected to take place before 2028. Okay. And Mr. Musk is also donating money into this. Okay. Since he already bought the election with Trump, he's probably thinking, what other elections could I buy? All right. In other countries. This is what he's doing. British news media reports have suggested that Mr. Musk could afford a multi-million-dollar donation to Reform, although Mr. Farage has said that no donation has been requested or offered. In a statement on Tuesday, Reform said that Mr. Farage and Mr. Candy had learned a great deal from Musk about the Trump ground game during an hour-long meeting on Monday, and that they would hold ongoing discussions on other areas. In an interview with the Sunday Times of London ahead of meeting, Mr. Candy said that he wanted to learn how the American presidential election had been won. In the general election that took place in general, Mr. Farage's party won 5 seats in the British Parliament, but captured 14% of the national vote, a significant portion that underlined the threat he poses to the country's two main parties. And Reform poll ratings have pushed higher in recent weeks as Mr. Starmer's government has faced a turbulent start. As well as hoping to take votes from Labour in the north of England, Mr. Farage is hoping to supplant the Conservatives as the main source of right-wing opposition. As a foreign national, Mr. Musk cannot make personal political donations in Britain, but private companies that operate in the country can do so under British rules, meaning donations could potentially be made via X or Tesla via his vehicle company, his electronic vehicle company. Yeah. So, this is going to be something, because this man is looking for world domination. He's literally looking for world domination. That's what's happening here. All right. This is what's going down. Also, guess what? For those of you who are scared that we will have a TikTok ban, I got some news for you. I have some news for you. Here we go. How Donald Trump went from backing a TikTok ban, okay, to backing off. In 2020, he moved to ban the Chinese-owned app. Now he's opposing the Biden administration's effort to do just that. For 4 years, President Donald Trump denounced TikTok, Chinese-owned video sharing app, as a threat to America's national security. This week, as Mr. Trump prepares to retake the White House, he has called it a unique medium for freedom of expression. The comment was part of a brief he filed to the Supreme Court on Friday, asking the justices to pause a ban on TikTok set to take effect next month so that he could negotiate a resolution to save the platform. A law passed with wide bipartisan support and signed by President Biden in April calls for ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, to sell the app to a non-Chinese company or face a ban in the United States because of its risk to national security and free speech. The justices are considering the company's challenge to that law. TikTok has said the law violates the First Amendment. It also says that its corporate parent is majority owned by global investors. The Biden administration and members of Congress argue that the platform's Chinese ownership compromises U.S. security because of the vast amount of user tracking and data collecting it performs, and because of the risk that Beijing could use the app to spread propaganda. That was Mr. Trump's position too before he became a political star on TikTok, where he now has more than 14.7 million followers. Geoff Garnin, a Democratic strategist, noted that Mr. Trump's U-turn puts him at odds with many Republicans who remained worried about China's ownership of the app. It's hard to believe that Trump's TikTok flip-flop is about anything more than the influence of a billionaire's donor and Trump's reluctance to give up his access to his followers on the platform. Mr. Garn said, referring to Jeff Yass, a Republican mega donor who owns a significant share of ByteDance, as with nearly everything Trump does, his campaign of position is driven by self-interest, not the principle or the national interest. Here's a look at Mr. Trump's evolution on TikTok. In 2020, he said, we're banning them. Initially, Mr. Trump's animosity toward TikTok stemmed largely from his anger at China's handling of the coronavirus pandemic. Really? China's handling of the coronavirus pandemic? Really? Really, Trump? Yeah. Yeah. All right. 2 words. Operation Warp. Actually, 3 words. Operation Warp Speed. In July 2020, he told Bloomberg News in a television interview that his administration was considering a ban because what happened with China with this virus, what they've done to this country and to the entire world is disgraceful. Aboard Air Force One, a few days later, he told reporters, as far as TikTok is concerned, we're banning them from the United States. On August 6th, he effectively did just that, issuing an executive order directing ByteDance to divest its U.S. interests or face broad sanctions. It warned that TikTok's vast data collection threatens to allow the Chinese Communist Party access to Americans' personal and proprietary information, potentially allowing China to track the locations of federal employees and contractors, build dossiers of personal information for blackmail, and conduct corporate espionage. The risks are real, the order said. The next month, Trump blessed a deal that involved 2 major American firms, Oracle and Walmart, taking significant stakes in TikTok, but that deal, which left murky how much ByteDance and Chinese staff would remain involved with the app, was shelved amid transition to a new presidential administration. Mr. Trump's efforts to ban TikTok was blocked by a federal judge who ruled that he had exceeded his authority. President Biden then revoked Mr. Trump's ban in 2021 as Congress considered new legislation. In 2024, he warned young people will go crazy without it. Fast forward to 2024 presidential campaign. In March, Mr. Trump suddenly declared a change in his stance on TikTok, condemning a bipartisan majority in Congress for pushing a bill that effectively did what he had tried to do 4 years earlier, ban the app unless its Chinese owner sells it. That change of position came around the same time that Mr. Trump met with Mr. Yass. Mr. Trump has said that they did not discuss the company, but Mr. Yass helped found the trading firm Susquehanna International Group and one of the biggest supporters of the anti-tax lobbying group Club for Growth, which hired Kellyanne Conway, a former senior counselor to Mr. Trump, to lobby for TikTok in Washington. Mr. Trump told CNBC in March that he still considered TikTok a national security threat, but that young people will go crazy without it. He also said moves against TikTok would benefit Facebook, which he called an enemy of the people. Mr. Trump went on to use TikTok with great success during the campaign and has said that it was a key vehicle for reaching young people this year. His youngest son, Barron, also encouraged him to lean into the platform to win over young voters, according to 2 sources familiar with their interactions who spoke on condition of anonymity. So there you have it, folks. TikTok basically is not going anywhere. All right? It's basically not going anywhere. All you got to do is just make Trump famous, and you're not going anywhere. All right? Let's talk about Trump's pick for the Department of Education.
Donald Trump picked a Secretary of Education that lied about having a degree in education, which is the most on-brand thing Trump could do. Now, Trump's pick is Linda McMahon of professional wrestling fame. Think WWE, WWF. She is the wife of Vince McMahon, that family. She was not picked for her qualifications. Her only qualification to be Secretary of Education is spending one day on the State Board of Education in Connecticut. Now, she had to resign from that post after it was revealed that she lied about having her degree in education, stating that she didn't think she lied. She just forgot that her degree was actually in French. A common slip-up, I suppose, for most people. The truth is,
People are starting to. I hope people are realizing Trump doesn't hire people for their expertise. He hires them because they love him. They want to worship him.
Was picked for loyalty. She was part of Trump's campaign. She is on the board of Truth Social. That was her only real qualification for Trump. She is not in any way qualified for this position. But I can say at least we did not get Lauren Boebert or Ryan Walters, who was ready to put Bibles in every classroom. So we have to be thankful
in Oklahoma, they're trying to do that. They are trying to make the Bible be read in high school now. Okay. And the thing is like Christians who are for this, all right, they don't realize they're giving away their freedom of religion, because you're having your religion being handled by non-Christians who are going to teach it like a history book or a fable. And then you're going to complain to the government and be like, this is out of your jurisdiction. Get out of here. Basically what's happened with these Christian nationalists. All right. But I got some more news, basically more for, the MAGA cult to understand that they made a horrible decision choosing Trump. Okay. Let me ask you a question. What do you think Trump, Elon Musk, and Vivek think about remote work? What do you think they think about it? What could be their thoughts on it? What could be their thoughts? I want to know. What do you think? Let's take a look. Fair use.
Donald Trump says he will challenge a Biden-era deal allowing federal employees to work hybrid or remotely through the year 2029. Trump spoke out against the agreement Monday.
If people don't come back to work, come back into the office, they're going to be dismissed. And somebody in the Biden administration gave a 5-year waiver of that so that for 5 years, people don't have to come back into the office. It involved 49,000 people. For 5 years, they don't have to go. They just signed this thing. It's ridiculous. So it was like a gift to a union, and we're going to obviously be in court to stop it.
Work from home policies for government workers have been highly criticized by the leaders of Trump's newly established Department of Government Efficiency, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. However, remote work trends have been shifting across several industries in recent years.
Hey, he's for the little guy, right? Trump's for the little guy. He's for me, right? The common man, right?
Before the pandemic, roughly 2.5% of jobs posted on Indeed advertised remote or hybrid work. As you can see, those numbers spiked between 2020 and 2021, the pandemic, before hitting an all-time high in 2022 of nearly 10.5%. Then the number of remote job postings started to drop last year and currently hovers around 7.8%. Allison Srivastava joins us now. She's an economist for Indeed Hiring Lab. Allison, thanks for being here. The union representing federal employees says it will fight any efforts to remove remote work protections. Why do workers say they want hybrid or remote work, and thus unions are fighting to protect that?
Remote work isn't for everyone, but Indeed found that remote work is popular across really all groups. It holds a particular appeal for both women and younger workers. But it's clear that a lot of workers really value the flexibility that remote work offers and value having that work-life balance they have from getting things like commute times cut out of their day.
Why did we see a dip since 2022 in remote and hybrid work being offered? And why are people like Trump, Musk, and Ramaswamy against these kind of programs if they keep some employees happy and productive?
So a lot of the decline in remote job postings can be attributed to a drop in job posting in sectors that tend to embrace remote work in general. But we are now seeing that even within those sectors, there's a shift away from remote offices. So while I can't speak to individual employers' apprehensions around remote work, it is clear that some employers are embracing return to office policies, either because competition for workers isn't as tight as it was in 2022, or because they saw remote.
Basically, these people want money. Okay. And they want control. It's popular among young people to work remote. Like I said, Vivek and Elon were not wrong. America is soft. They prefer leisure. Instead of working. Okay. They want to be home and they want to be comfortable. Unfortunately, there's too much of that comfort. Now I'm for remote work. Okay, but these are billionaires. Okay, and they value productivity and they don't give a damn about your rights. They don't they want you working like a slave. This is who they are. They don't care about your benefits or your rights. Pretty much see you as property. You work for me. And that's that. Well, I hope you enjoy this stream. And that's about it. Okay. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought about the stream. Hit the like button. Push it through the algorithm. All right. So you get more content like this. Peace out.